This lesson is about adding integers. Remember that integers are positive and negative whole numbers, also including 0. If you look at the numbers listed here along the number line, you will see the set of integers. Let's practice using a number line to add integers. There are different ways to think about adding integers, but a number line is one way to do that. During this lesson, I'm going to talk about 3 different ways or 3 different methods to think about adding integers. First, we'll look at using a number line. Let's say that we're going to add some numbers to 3. Well, we always start at 0. If we're going to work with 3, we need to go forward to the positive 3. Let's say we want to do 3 plus positive 5, or just 3 plus a regular 5. That means that we would be at 3 and move forward 5 spaces. 3 plus 5 equals positive 8. But let's instead think about what would happen if we did 3 plus a negative 5. Again, we have to start at 0 and go forward to our positive 3. But if we're adding it with a negative 5, negative would indicate we go backwards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hops. 3 plus a negative 5 equals negative 2. Using a number line is one way of thinking about adding integers. Now, although you can always work with number lines on paper and draw out your own, you can also use the number line tool in the Digits program. This video will show you how to use the number line tool.
In this video, you will learn about the add and subtract integers mode of the number line tool. You can use the add and subtract integers mode to model addition and subtraction problems on the number line. To model the first value, drag the blue point along its guiding number line to the value you want. Notice that the numerical value you are modeling is displayed on the blue strip as well as in the expression display below. When the blue point is in place, press the Set Value button. Select the operation that you want to model. Then model the second value by dragging the red point along its guiding number line to the value you want. The numerical value you are modeling is displayed on the red strip, and the expression displayed below shows the expression that you are building. When the red point is in place, press the Set Value button. After setting 2 values, you have a choice of including a third value to your model by selecting Add or Subtract. Or you can model the answer for your current 2 values by selecting Equals. Selecting Equals will reveal the answer to the expression in the expression display. Notice that the black point is located at the value of the answer on the main number line.
Okay, let's try some problems using the number line. If we want to find the sum, remember sum means addition, of 2 and negative 8, we would have to move how many units away from 2? If we are starting at 2, how many units do we have to move away from 2? Well, 8 units. In which direction? Well, it's a negative 8, so we would move in the negative direction, or the backwards direction. Okay, so if we use the number line tool, we would obviously start at our positive 2, set the value. We're adding a negative 8, so we're going to move 8 in the negative direction. Set the value equals negative 6, and we can see that on our number line. So we went forward 2 since it was positive, and we went backward 8 since it was negative. That landed us at negative 6. All right, if we want to do negative 5 plus negative 6, we would have to move how many units away from negative 5? Well, 6. In what direction? It's a negative 6, so in the negative or backwards direction. Let's try that. I'm just going to sketch a number line. You can use the tool or you can always sketch one. You can also always just look at a number line if you have one, like on the wall in my class, or if you have a little paper one, you can look at it. So we're going to start at -5. We're really working with a lot of negatives here, so I'm just going to only put a little bit of the positives. Oops. When you sketch a number line, you want to draw arrows on both ends, as the numbers do continue even though you're only writing so many of them. It's nice to include 0. It gives you a place to start, and then include the values around it. Alright, so 0 is where we start, but we're wanting to start with a -5, so we go back to -5. And we're going to move 6 units backwards, since this is a -6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We started at -5. We move backwards 6. That lands -11.
The sum of a number and its opposite is 0. Five plus -5 equals 0.
Notice that we start at 5, so we went forward 5, and then we did a -5, so we went backward 5. Well, if you go forward 5 and backward 5, you just go back to the starting point of 0.
-5 plus 5 equals 0.
Even if you do this in the other order, you go backwards 5 first for the blue -5, and forwards 5 second for the red +5, you still land back at 0.
Two numbers that have a sum of 0 are additive inverses. The inverse property of addition says that every number has an additive inverse. The sum of a number and its additive inverse is 0. In the arithmetic example, 5 plus -5 equals 0, and -5 plus 5 equals 0. So 5 and -5 are additive inverses. For any number a plus -a equals 0, and -a plus a equals 0.
Okay, make sure you fill out your chart on your note sheet. You can pause the video if you need to. The word inverse is almost like the word opposite. So whenever we say this is the inverse property of addition, we mean it's the opposite property of addition. Like it's what happens whenever you add opposites. 5 and -5 are opposites. When you add them, you get 0. But not just 5, any number. 10 and -10, 100 and -100. Any number, when you add it with its opposite, you'll always get 0. Alright, choose any of the following problems that would result in 0. Which of these pairs are additive inverses? Pause the video, try it out, and play the video to make sure you pick the correct ones. Well, 8 plus -8 would be adding opposites. 5 plus -5, -5 plus +5, 12 plus -12, and negative 8 plus positive 8. All of these would result in 0 as you are adding opposites. Is the value of the expression negative 52 plus negative 52 less than 0, equal to 0, or greater than 0? Write down what you think and then play the video again to see if you got it correct. Well, in this case, we're starting with negative 52. If you imagine a number line, we're starting already by going backwards from 0 because we're going all the way to negative 52. But then if we add negative 52, we're going to go backwards even more. Negative goes backwards. So we're going to be less than 0. We would only get 0 if negative 52 and negative 52 were opposites. But we don't have a positive 52 here. So we're going to continue to go in the backwards direction. A number line is a great tool to help you add integers, and it's a great way to think about it. But also, another good tool is an integer chip, or like thinking of positive and negative little symbols. So let's look at how to use this tool, and then we'll try some questions using this idea.
In this video, you will learn about the addition mode of the integer chips tool. Using the addition mode, you can model and then solve addition problems with integer chips. In the workspace are 2 bins, one for each addend. You can add positive or negative integer chips to the addend bins by using the positive and negative chip buttons. You can view the value of the contents of each bin at any time by clicking the Show Bin Value button at the top of each bin. While open, the bin value shows the value of each type of integer chip in the bin, but not the sum of different chips. When there are chips in both bins, the Model Sum button is active. You can only proceed to the Model Sum stage if the contents of an addend bin are a single integer, not an expression. If you click on the Model Sum button, and this is not true, you will receive an error message. Click the X in the error message to close it. Use the eraser to correct any addend bins that are not of the same integer chip type. To proceed to the next step, click the Model Sum button. The 2 addends from the previous screen are now located in a single bin representing the sum. To see the expression you modeled in the previous stage, you can click on the Show Expression button. The question mark in the display means that you still need to simplify the sum of the chips in the bin by removing all 0 pairs. Drag a chip on top of its opposite to create a 0 pair. The hammer button is available when there is a 0 pair in the bin. To break a 0 pair apart, click the hammer button and then click on the 0 pair. The hammer button is available as long as there are 0 pairs in the bin. You can also disable the hammer by clicking the hammer button again. You can add 0 pairs to the bin using the 0 pair button. You can view the contents of the bin by clicking on the Show Bin Value button at the top of the bin. When any 0 pairs are present in the sum bin, the Show Bin Value area displays a +0 term. To remove a 0 pair from the sum bin, drag the 0 pair into the 0 pairs area at the right. Once you have removed all 0 pairs, the expression display will display the final sum in place of the question mark.
So in this problem, we began with 3 positives and 2 negatives. Whenever we got rid of those 0 pairs, because we know opposites make 0, we're left with an answer. 3 plus -2 equals +1.
And I win!
No.
Already?
Let's add up the scores.